Welcome back, folks. Dow Industrials right now up 31. We get the Nasdaq up 49. S&P's up 7. Let's go over to our man, Mr. Darrell Martin at Apex Investing. Darrell Martin, what's going on, brother?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Yourself?
Doing fantastic. A little bit slow the last couple days here in the markets, but it's going to be an interesting week.
Yeah, I suspect we'll get a little volatility tonight. We have the Fed Thursday, which, you know...
Or Wednesday. Yeah, Thursday, you're right, yeah.
Yeah, well, the statement's Thursday, right? And I guess it's just a matter of what they're going to say. Statement-wise...
No, they have a funds rate also projected for Thursday.
They have a what? Sorry, Darrell?
Fed funds rate. Isn't that expected out, or... Oh, no, never mind. I'm off.
No, December.
Yeah, December's when the next
a
one's
rate
coming
hike.
out.
I don't think he's saying. What is a Fed funds rate out? Or you're not saying a rate hike, are you? Is that what you're saying?
No. The rate hike's coming in December. They're doing like their statement on the Fed funds rate that's coming out.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
Sorry.
And then, of course, the pound has been moving, man. That was quite a move in the pound last week.
Yeah, we finally actually got a little wake up in the pound and the FX, and which is a nice change because it's been so quiet lately trying to trade FX.
Yeah.
You know, like 5 ticks, 10 ticks, 5 ticks, and we're finally getting some real movement. With New Zealand, with their employment change and all that stuff coming out tonight, that should be some good stuff too as well. So that'll help out with like the Aussie.
Okay.
And then they have their Fed funds rate per se coming out tomorrow.
So let's take a look at this Aussie for a second, because it was interesting last week as the dollar failed at the top. All the rest of them, all including the Aussie, they're all in step with where that dollar wants to go. The dollar failed at the highs, and as soon as that failed at the highs, the Aussie went topside.
Yeah, that was a big day on the first.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And then the pound has their preliminary GDP on Friday.
Yeah, the Brexit deal. There's a lot of moving parts in that, man. That's you know. One day I say, okay, everything's going to be all right. The next day it seems like, hey, I mean, it's going to be the Wild West out here. March, is it March 15th?
29th.
March 29th. I mean, that's right around the corner, this March 29th deal.
It is.
Well, it's going to be right, yeah, I mean, right there, and there's going to be just all this projection of whether they're going to get it done or not, and, you know, of course, most of us, I think, don't believe that they're going to get it done. So...
It seems pretty hard to get it done, you know, between now and March. And, you know, they've had, how many years now?
A few years.
Yeah.
Because that vote was ahead of the 2016 election, just to put things in perspective for us. I think that was like August of 16, or going back. It was before our 2016 elections. Time flies. It's just tough to imagine that we've been dealing with Brexit for almost 3 years.
Pretty wild.
Yeah.
And then, here, let me switch gears, and you get this oil market's kind of intriguing. You know, we just went down from, what, $76 to $63 in a month and a half.
Really?
I filled up my gas tank last night. That was a nice reprieve from some of those higher prices.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. Seriously. You know, I saw oil tank, and I said, I'm going to hold off that one extra day to fill up my tank and make sure they bring down those prices to correlate to $63 oil. I think so. I'm not too sure, to be fair. But I'm sure they had to.
Because let's look at unleaded gas for a second. So unleaded gas, oh, look at that. Unleaded gas is $1.69. That's a good price, man. Oh, look at this. Right. Look at that. Unleaded gas is down from $2.14 to $1.69. Yeah. That is freaking sweet.
Yeah, you're talking about 45 cents in the span of a month.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Hold off, folks. That's
good for me. I drive a big old truck.
You do,
right? I was filling up in premium, and it was nice where it was not a big price tag, and it's you feel it instantly along with everybody else.
Yeah, you're back.
For hauling our horse trailers, I have a big old Ram 3500 dually with a 150-gallon diesel tank.
Yeah, what do you get, 4 or 5 miles a gallon?
It just eats gas. You just pour it in, and it just eats it.
Yeah.
Well,
I think it gets about 9. I'm almost double digits there.
That's good. That's good.
Hey,
one of the newer ones.
Yeah. No, that's the.
I mean, it's hauling like 6 horses.
You're hauling a lot.
Pound trailer.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
Big time weight.
So that's interesting. Look at. I mean, unleaded gas is back to May of 2016.
Yeah.
And if you got some support here, man. If you can break into the support, that thing got on a 120.
When are we going? What is that low? What a low, man. 89 cents. All right, I want 89 cents. Back to February of 16. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, and, listen, well, particularly for the folks in the Midwest and the Northeast, they're heating oil, man. That is which is a number. Now, it doesn't get that cold in Texas. You need heating oil, right?
No, we don't use heating oil here. We use natural gas.
Okay.
But
yeah.
We have that.
And hey, how about natural gas? Natural gas took off yesterday. That was a move and a half. And in fact, you know what's really wild, folks, is that it had.
Now it has a move today. It did everything yesterday.
Listen to this. There's a Bloomberg article. This is pretty intense. Listen to this, Darrell. So you got the Henry Hub, which that's what we trade, and we trade the futures in natural gas. But the Henry Hub, because of all the shale in our country right now, that's gone from number 3 to number 39. That when traders are actually buying natural gas. Isn't that crazy? You know, so I suspect inside the natural gas market, things are going to change.
Yeah, that's interesting. Just this article says, so the Henry Hub, Louisiana's Henry Hub, the benchmark for U.S. gas futures has fallen to 38th place this year after being 3rd just 8 years ago. I would take the word just out of there. 8's a long time.
Yeah,
8 years is a long time in the energy industry, in particular, in terms of what's going on. To say, oh, just a decade ago, it was like, well, okay, a lot's happened in a decade almost. But pretty remarkable. It's 38th place, but it was still only 3rd 8 years ago. So where's like number 2 or number 1?
No, if you pull it up, they get the chart. No, that's what I start seeing.
Yeah.
You pull this up, they get the chart, folks, and what's really wild, just keep going.
Okay.
Yeah. So these are the places. What's intriguing about this is I met this guy at a party a couple of years ago, and this was about the crude oil market. And he was explaining to me that, there's a million different kinds of crude, and he trades crude, but guess what? The prices that we're looking at in the future market are not what these guys are paying.
Okay.
That's what the essence
Number
of
of factors, sure.
Yeah, that was the essence of the conversation. And, like, if you look at this chart, bottom line is that, hey, every day, it's like I'm wondering why RF the CME is going to change the future contract, because it's like, look at the first one. The first one, like, it seems to have first and second, they get a lot more activity when if you're not watching Tiger TV, folks. Henry Hub is like a little raindrop compared to these other.
And this has to do with the average daily natural gas flow going through each one of those. So I'm not sure there's so many. We'll have to get somebody a nice fundamental take on that, because I'd be interested. Are they talking about where it's flowing through those? Are they stored there? Is Henry Hub still big storage? I'm not. You know what I mean? There's different ways to categorize how those. But remarkable statistic nonetheless.
Yeah.
And it says to reflect the gas trading shift. They've introduced regional indexes. This is the ICE and S&P Global Platts based on, and we've seen that, right, where Boston has huge different prices, where it's the Northeast versus down here, and how they can shift that gas around. Pretty interesting,
Hey, I got a quick question for you, Tom. On stocks, I know they were like in something like a holding period with the owners doing buybacks. Is that over now, where they can start buying back their own stock?
Kevin Hinks was just talking about that with Apple. And maybe it's 3 days after. He was just talking about something about 3 days. I'm not quite sure what it is, what time frame it is. I'll find out, though. It's after the fact of them coming out with earnings, I believe. Because Kevin was just mentioning he said a 3-day deal. He says then they can get back in the market, too.
Okay.
Darrell, you have a great one, a safe one. Thanks so much, man.
All right, you too.
Darrell, thanks, man. Take care.